Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News with some latest events in Tay Ninh province. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, at the online meeting between the Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control of the province and localities in the morning of February 9, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People Committee, and Head of the Provincial Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control, gave many important directions.
In the spirit of the latest conclusions of the Prime Minister on COVID-19 epidemic prevention and control, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc asked provincial departments and localities to well grasp the situation, especially cases from other localities returned to Tay Ninh to celebrate that holiday. All of these cases must report medical declarations and be instructed to take measures to prevent and control the epidemic without exemptions. To bring into full play the results achieved in the epidemic prevention and control over the last time, the chairman of the Provincial People's Committee has directed to continue promoting propaganda, strengthening the disease prevention and control, ensuring security and safety for the border areas, determined to seal up, preventing the disease from spreading in the locality. According to Mr. Ngọc, it's necessary to drastically handle smuggling, illegal entry and exit, and have a monitoring mechanism for functional forces on the border area. As for the health sector, the chairman asked to actively review human resources, facilities and equipment, etc., to be ready to proactively respond to any situation. The health sector needs to strengthen inspection, prevent the disease from cross-spreading in hospitals, or spreading among health workers and forces on duty in the border area. The awareness of the people is the most important thing so far. Each citizen needs to protect themselves, their family, and the whole society. On behalf of the provincial leadership, I call upon our locals, all ethnic and religious groups to join forces and cooperate with the provincial leaders to implement the most effective disease prevention measures, together overcome the pandemic, together with the whole country to maintain what we have achieved in the epidemic prevention and control. In the coming time, Tay Ninh province will strengthen the inspection and supervision of wearing masks in public areas and cases of non-compliance. Facing the complicated development of COVID-19 pandemic, implementing the direction of the Prime Minister, and in order to ensure the safety of the people during this new year, Tay Ninh province will suspend the opening ceremony of Padang Mountain Spring Festival 2021 and the New Year's Eve fireworks at all localities. The chairman of the Provincial People's Committee has directed agencies and units not to organize year-end and early spring meetings, encourage religious and belief establishments to suspend ritual and festival activities, those cultural and artistic activities on New Year's Eve and some traditional festivals of the province taking place during that holiday will also temporarily suspended. Tay Ninh provincial authorities have agreed to suspend the New Year's Eve fireworks. Some major festivals, such as the opening ceremony of Padang Mountain Spring Festival, will also be halted to ensure the prevention and control of the epidemic, so that the locals can enjoy a happy, healthy, and safe that holiday. Under the direction of the chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, during that holiday, especially on New Year's Eve, the functional forces will strengthen patrol and control to prevent law violations from happening or acts affecting the prevention and control of the epidemic, especially the illegal gatherings.
On February 9, Mr. Phạm Hồng Thái, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, and Mr. Nguyễn Văn Hợp, Chairman of the Vietnam Fairland Wrong Committee of Tay Ninh Province, gave gifts to the representatives of the armed forces participating in the fight against COVID-19 on Tay Ninh's border lines.
The gifts, worth over 1 billion Vietnam dong, were mobilized by the Vietnam Fatherland Friends Committee of the province from organizations and businesses in and outside the province. In addition to giving that gifts for collectives of border guard units, the Provincial Military Command, and the Provincial Public Security, This time, the delegation also donated 500,000 Vietnam dong to each soldier in the border guard and forces participating in the prevention and control of the COVID-19 pandemic on the borderline. On the same day, the delegation of provincial leaders and the Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee of the province also visited and gave gifts to the anti-COVID-19 forces at an isolated area in Tay Ninh City. Earlier, the delegation of Ms. Nguyễn Thị Xuân Hương, member of the Standing Committee of the Ninh Provincial Project Committee and head of the Provincial Department of Propaganda and Training, visited, presented gifts, and sent New Year wishes to the Rapid Response Police Team under the Police Department for Administrative Management, the Firefighting Rescue Team, and the Professional Animal Management Team under the Flying Squad Division of the Ninh Provincial Public Security Department. At each destination, representatives of the units briefed the delegation on the 2020 performance, the plans to protect the safety of the Lunar New Year 2021, and the situation of taking care of cadres and soldiers on that holiday. Ms. Hương highly appreciated the results that the units have achieved, as well as the contributions of the units in the work of maintaining security and order. The head of the Provincial Department of Propaganda and Training believed that, with a positive spirit and readiness to fight in all situations, the units will contribute to maintaining good security and order so that the people can enjoy a safe Spring Festival. The Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee of Cô Dâu District on February the 9th held the first consultation session on the structure, composition, and the number of candidates to be introduced to stand for the District People's Council deputies for the 2021 and 2026 term. Cô Dâu District expected to have 11 constituencies, of which the officially elected number of delegates is 34, and the number of nominated candidates is 64 people. During this term, the number of Cô Dâu District People's Council deputies working in state management agencies will decrease by 5 people compared to the previous term. 100% of the delegates unanimously agreed on the structure, composition, and distribution of the number of people recommended to be candidates for the People's Council of Cô Dâu District for the 2021 and 2026 term. The Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee of the District will notify agencies, units, communes, and towns to introduce candidates to the People's Council deputies at all levels and process to prepare for the second consultation session.
Ladies and gentlemen, orchid is loved by many people because of its radiant, luxurious, noble, and brilliant beauty and its long-lasting preservation. From loving the beauty of flower, Ms. Ngô Thị Từ, living in Hào Đức Commune, has boldly invested in growing this plant and become more prosperous. In today's programs, we would like to introduce the report of economic development from the model of planting Ngọc Điểm orchid, reported by correspondent Anh Thảo and Duy Hiển.
The white, fragrant, and pure beautiful orchids fluttering in the sun that captivate the human's heart is the result of more than 2 years of investment and caring of Ms. Ngô Thị Từ, born in 1963, living in Group 5, Bình Lợi Hamlet, Hào Đức Commune of Châu Thành District, Tay Ninh Province. At the end of 2018, from the love for the beauty of Ngọc Điểm orchid, with the introduction and guidance of an acquaintance, Ms. Từ decided to invest in developing the orchid growing model with an initial investment cost of about 200 million Vietnam dong. Ngọc Điểm orchid is an easy to care and easy to develop plant. Growers only need to know its characteristics and take care of it without worrying about damages because its adaptivity is very high. It's known that the Ngọc Điểm orchid output is stable, the loss rate is low. Therefore, after more than 2 years of developing this model, deducting expenses, Ms. Từ family has an income of 200 to 250 million Vietnam dong per year. Growing this type of orchid in general doesn't take a lot of effort. It takes about 10 to more than 20 months sometimes longer to get the money back. So be patient, don't be afraid to grow but cannot sell it. It's only a matter of more or less profit. In addition to the income from orchids, Mr. also has other sources of income from Longan orchards with various types of Longan. She is also an active member of the local women's union, ready to support disadvantaged women in developing their family economy. Mr. is a very active member. She participates in the union's activities very regularly. Whoever has difficulties, she is willing to help them, such as lend them money to buy family health insurance without interest. Boldly converting plants, getting rich right from our abilities is essential for women, and that's what Ms. Ngô Thị Từ has done. Thanks to Ngọc Điểm Orchids, Mr.'s family has a better economy than before, especially on this Tet holiday. Orchids are quite attractive plants, bringing more profits to growers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for watching and see you next time.